You know that feeling, right? The very first thing you think about when your alarm goes off, that smell of coffee brewing, the warmth of the mug in your hands, that first sip. For so many of us, that morning coffee isn't just a drink. It's the official start of the day.
But what if that cup is doing way more than just shaking off the sleep? What if it's actually, shaping your mood, your happiness for the rest of the morning? Well, let's get into it and see what the science actually says.
And yeah, that's exactly it, right? As nutritionist Carrie Lupoli points out, it's not just about the caffeine. It's this whole sensory experience. It's like a powerful signal to your brain that says, okay, let's do this. The day is on. Now, the idea that coffee is good for your brain, that's probably not news to you. We've been hearing about its benefits for years. So before we jump into the brand new science, let's just quickly recap the big picture. I mean, the list of benefits we already know about is pretty impressive. We're talking about a direct mood boost, sharper focus, less stress, being more productive. Coffee has been seen as this amazing tool for our mental game for a long, long time. And look, this isn't just a hunch people have. We're talking about major studies, some from places like the Harvard School of Public Health, that have consistently found a link between drinking coffee regularly and a lower risk of depression. So the foundation for this idea, it's scientifically solid. But here's where things get really interesting. A recent study just came out that goes way beyond these general connections. It zooms right in on that specific moment, the morning cup, and what it does to our happiness right then and there in the real world. So, what's so cool about this particular study is how they did it. Researchers in Germany and the UK got over 200 young adults and tracked them for a whole month. 7 times a day, their phone would ping and they'd have to report their mood, and if they'd had any caffeine recently. This wasn't some stuffy lab, this was data from their actual everyday lives. And the big takeaway? It's right here. On the mornings when people had coffee, they said they felt noticeably happier and more enthusiastic compared to mornings when they didn't. And get this, it wasn't just a 5-minute buzz. This good mood actually stuck around for up to 2.5 hours. But this is the part that really surprised the researchers. This mood boost happened pretty much across the board. It didn't seem to matter if you were a heavy coffee drinker or just had a cup now and then. Even for people who tended to have higher levels of anxiety, the positive link was still there. Pretty incredible. Okay, so we've seen the what, we know the effect is real, but why? What is actually happening inside our brains that turns a simple cup of coffee into a happiness booster? Let's dive into the chemistry. All right, to get this, you first got to know about a little molecule called adenosine. The easiest way to think of it is as your brain's natural brake pedal. As you go through your day, it builds up and it plugs into these receptors in your brain, telling it to slow down, making you feel tired and sleepy. And this is where caffeine comes in and totally changes the game. Its molecular structure looks so much like adenosine that it can sneak in and block those receptors. It's literally like it steals adenosine's parking spot. And with that sleepy chemical blocked, other feel-good chemicals like dopamine suddenly have more room to work. The result? You feel more awake, more focused, and, yep, happier. All right, so it sounds like a slam dunk, right? Coffee equals happiness. Case closed. But, it's never quite that simple, is it? The whole story is a little more complex, which leads us to this huge question that scientists are still trying to figure out. Is that coffee giving you a genuine mood boost, like lifting you up above your normal level? Or is it just reversing some mild withdrawal symptoms and simply bringing you back to your normal level? Yeah, one of the study's own authors, Professor Anu Raylo, explained it really well. Even if you're just a moderate coffee drinker, you can wake up feeling a bit groggy, maybe a little foggy, classic, mild withdrawal. So that first cup makes those feelings go away. What feels like a boost might actually just be a sigh of relief.
So whether you're getting a real lift or you're just getting back to normal, the bottom line from all the science is the same. To get the good stuff from coffee without the bad, moderation is absolutely the key.
So what does moderation actually mean in real terms? Well, the general guideline is to keep it under 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. To put that in perspective, that's about what you'd get in 4 standard 8-ounce cups of regular coffee. Because once you start pushing past that number, you can run into some not-so-great side effects. We're talking about things like dependency, trouble sleeping, even heart palpitations. And here's the irony. Too much caffeine can actually cause anxiety, the very thing a smaller amount might help with. And hey, here's one last little tip from the experts if you really want to make the most of that morning cup.
Try waiting about 60 to 90 minutes after you wake up to drink it. Why? Because your body's natural get-up-and-go hormone, cortisol, is already at its peak right when you wake up. If you wait a bit, the caffeine works with your body's rhythm instead of fighting it.
So the next time you're making that morning coffee, it's kind of a cool thing to think about, right? What is this drink really for you? Is it just a habit you're on autopilot with? Is it a genuine helper for your mind? Or, like the science seems to be telling us, is it this fascinating dance between chemistry and ritual? Something to ponder over your next brew.